This is Express Leads. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Express Leads, where we dive deep into the latest advancements in marketing, technology, and business automation. I'm your host, Paul Brady, a marketing expert, podcast enthusiast, and a self-proclaimed AI geek, which, by the way, I'm sure there are many people listening that also consider themselves AI geeks, and that's a trend these days. But today I'm thrilled to bring you an exclusive look at the cutting-edge AI features in Cajun Pipeline, a game-changing marketing platform designed to help businesses automate, optimize, and elevate their operations. So, whether you're a small business owner, a seasoned marketer, or just someone curious about how AI is transforming the way we work, this episode is packed with insights tailored just for you. Now, before we dive in, let's set the tone. Okay, now consider for a moment your daily business operations, whether that be from customer follow-ups to lead management, are not just automated, but enhanced by artificial intelligence. And that's precisely the kind of innovation we're talking about today. It's not science fiction, it's here and now, and it's revolutionizing the way businesses operate. Here's what you can expect in this episode. We'll explore the foundational aspects of Cajun Pipeline, break down its brand new AI capabilities, discuss real-world applications and benefits, and close with an exciting look into the future of AI and business automation. But, don't worry if you're not a tech wizard, okay? I'll make sure to break it all down into simple, digestible terms that anyone can understand and follow along with. So to continue, let's quickly discuss why AI is becoming such a big deal in marketing and business. Artificial intelligence, right, isn't just about robots or futuristic gadgets. I like to sneak the word robot in. If I could, I'd sneak it into every podcast. But look, getting back to the subject here, it's about leveraging data and algorithms to make smarter decisions. So, in the context of marketing, that means better targeting, more personalized customer experiences, and streamlined operations. And Cajun Pipeline is leading the change in bringing these benefits to businesses of all sizes. So look, grab a seat, get a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's get started. So let's begin by understanding what Cajun Pipeline is all about. For those of you who might be new to the platform, Cajun Pipeline is an all-in-one marketing and business automation tool designed to simplify the complexities of customer relationship management, sales pipelines, and marketing automation. It's built for local businesses, but powerful enough to serve enterprises looking for an efficient way to scale their operations. And what I always tell people, whether I'm in front of them doing a presentation or on the phone or a video, is that the big difference between Cajun Pipeline and many competitors is many of them, and you know the names, I don't have to say them, they'll set you up, they'll give you something, they'll give you training, and then you have a blank slate. I do real onboarding with my clients. I onboard, I help them understand, I learn what their business model's like, and then I customize the solution for them so that when I onboard, it's set up for your actual business, not a guideline that you can learn from. It's actually set up for your business. So just want to get that out there as well. But in continuing on here, at its core, Cajun Pipeline combines a robust set of features that address the critical needs of modern businesses. So let's discuss 6 important aspects of Cajun Pipeline just briefly here. Okay, so the first one I just touched base on was CRM tools. So CRM, for those of you that don't know what that means, is customer relationship management, and that all that is a fancy way of saying, hey, I've got an online-based database with all my customers, right? So for people that are more my age, it would be think of it as an online Rolodex. For folks that are in an earlier generation, obviously not a Rolodex, but it's an online a database to keep all your contact information, your addresses, all that stuff. So their names, their emails, their phone numbers, data about them, all that stuff, right? So, but essentially it helps you manage and track customer interactions And, that is a fundamental aspect to any business, right? But with Cajun Pipeline, businesses can consolidate their customer data in one place, ensuring no lead or interactions overlooked. So with Cajun Pipeline, you get a system that not only organizes your customer data, but also provides actionable insights to improve relationships and close more deals. And that is very, very important when you're talking about integrations with your, sales payment pipelines and all that stuff, right? So, okay, another aspect is messaging integration. So, especially in today's day and age, right? Customers expect seamless communication. Cajun Pipeline allows businesses to manage emails, SMS, and even social media messages from a single unified dashboard. And we call it the unified inbox, right? So if you're a business and you've got 5 or 6 different social media channels, you got SMS capabilities with your clients, you got email, you've got WhatsApp, you get a bunch of stuff, right? You can integrate all that into one unified inbox. And when you answer them from their perspective, you're answering them from the actual, platform. So for instance, if I got a private DM or a message on Instagram, I could reply to it on Cajun Pipeline. And from the sender's point of view, or the recipient rather's point of view, they're receiving it from Instagram. So it's pretty cool. But since we talked about sales pipelines, let me jump into another important aspect, our third here, which is payment processing. Now, I know a lot of businesses and platforms that businesses that use them, have some form or level of payment processing, right? But for businesses that deal with transactions, invoicing, and payment processing can be a hassle. Cajun Pipeline simplifies this by integrating payment options directly into the platform, making it easier for businesses to manage their cash flow and provide a seamless experience for the customers. So moving on, another quick feature and additionally an important aspect of Cajun Pipeline is web chat features. And really, it's one of the best ways to convert website visitors into leads. And you do that through real-time engagement, which is what web chat features enable you to do. And Cajun Pipeline's web chat capabilities allow businesses to interact with visitors in real time, answering questions and capturing leads directly from their website. Leading into our next important aspect is reputation management. Online reviews, right, can make or break a business. Cajun Pipeline includes tools for monitoring and responding to reviews, helping businesses maintain a stellar reputation and build trust with their customers. And that's important, right? So anytime I work with a new client, I'm always asking, how big is your mailing list? How many of those people have given you reviews? And, I've had clients that had up to 5,000 people and they had 12 reviews. So what we do is we throw them into an automated pipeline and funnel. They come through, it requests a review, allows them to come in and do it. And then by the time you're done, even if you're only getting 50%, that's 2,500 reviews versus what they had before, which is 10 or 12, right? So reputation, and by the way, that's also important because the more reviews you get, right, the more likely it is on the local SEO map, the 3-pack that Google has, right, of someone picking your business over someone else's, right? If you have 500 reviews and someone else has 2, even if they're in first place and you're in second in the 3-pack on Google, they're probably going to pick you because you have 500 reviews. So, something important to keep in mind helps elevate your SEO. And since we're speaking of that, I'll jump right into the last important aspect here that I want to discuss, which is SEO tools. So in the competitive digital landscape, as we just said, visibility is key. And Cajun Pipeline's SEO tools help businesses optimize their online presence, which in turn, of course, drives organic traffic and increases chances of being discovered by potential customers. And you know what? This is what sets these features, right? These 6 aspects. They are what sets Cajun Pipeline apart from other platforms. And that is specifically is its ability to unify these features in one seamless ecosystem. This integration reduces the need for juggling multiple tools and minimizes inefficiencies that can drain time and resources. And, what's the result? Great question. Here's an answer. a platform that not only simplifies your operations, but also amplifies the ability to connect with customers and grow your business. But here's where things get truly exciting: the introduction of AI into this already robust platform. Now, artificial intelligence is no longer just a buzzword. It's a powerful tool that's reshaping industries across the board. And, in the context of Cajun Pipeline, AI is being used to enhance every aspect of the platform's functionality, from automating routine tasks to providing actionable insights. The new AI features are designed to make businesses smarter, faster, and more efficient. Now, before we move on to the next segment, I want you to take a moment to think about the challenges you face in your business. Whether it's keeping up with customer inquiries, managing leads, or running marketing campaigns, Cajun Pipeline's AI capabilities are here to help. So stay tuned as we dive deeper into these features and explore how they can transform your business. And just a side note, I say this all the time to people I work with. First thing is, tell me about your customer's typical journey. How they reach out to you, or do they get to you through, a form on your website? Are they calling you on the phone? And then thinking about all the things you do manually to record these conversations, to, respond to the emails, to check the website or your inbox for emails that come in through that. All these things that a lot of it can be automated with Cajun Pipeline. So moving into the next segment, let's talk a little bit more about these new AI features in greater detail. So AI capabilities in Cajun Pipeline are definitely the star of today's show. And I don't mean or say that humorously. I mean, even I'm amazed at some of the features that can be done now, and some of the things you can do and integrate with a platform with AI through providers like ChatGPT, for one example. And in the case of Cajun Pipeline, these aren't just add-ons or gimmicks. They represent a significant leap forward in how technology can enhance your business operations. Now, remember, AI in Cajun Pipeline is not just about automating tasks, okay? It's also about making those tasks smarter and more impactful, and most of all, making it easier for you, the business, to manage all those things you used to do manually, automatically, or at least assisted with automatic operations. So let's break these down one by one. So, when we discuss AI-powered automation, obviously, again, automation's been a buzzword in marketing for years. We all know that, right? But AI, right, takes it to a whole new level. And Cajun Pipeline's AI capabilities really enable businesses to do, several things. But I'm going to list three right here, right? It's three higher level things, right? So they help you streamline your sales pipelines. They help you automate routine tasks, and they enable dynamic customer segmentation. And there's more, but those are three of the most important, right? And again, automation isn't always AI, and a lot of people are out there selling automation as AI. But one of the things that made Cajun Pipeline powerful to begin with was all its automations. Now, combine that with AI, and it's even better. But let's backtrack and go back to our first, right? So streamlining sales pipelines, right? So if you think about it, just consider an AI system that can intelligently prioritize leads based on their likelihood to convert, right? The platform uses machine learning to analyze historical data and identify patterns that human marketers, you and me, and small business owners might miss. This means you're not just working harder, you're working smarter. And it's true. I even in implementing some of the AI features I have with mine, when you start seeing some of the features, you actually improve in some respects your workflows, because I had one voice AI agent where people would call in, and if I can't answer the phone, instead of going to voicemail, it goes to a voice AI agent and they get their information. And one of the things I realized was that I really, if I have this capability and they want to talk to me right away, I shouldn't make them go out to my website. I should just send them a link to my calendar. And that's exactly what I did. I had the AI voice agent ask them if they wanted to book a meeting to discuss the issues they had previously listed, according to all the questions that the agent asked them. And if they say yes, it gets texted to them before they even hang up. So super, not only efficient and automated, right, but also streamlined because you've saved yourself and them several steps. Okay, so again, getting back to automating routine tasks, that's a little bit of it right there, right? But other things might be sending follow-up emails to schedule meetings. Doing that, the AI handles such repetitive tasks. And in doing so, right, including all the stuff I just said, it frees up your time to focus on strategy and on the main tenets of your business, right? So, and of course, additionally, because AI learns from your behavior, it gets better over time, tailoring its actions to suit your specific needs. And I think the voice AI agent example I gave you was perfect too, right? Because it not only and again, when you're like a developer or when you're someone like myself who's not a developer, but I've done a lot of scripting and I kind of think along those lines, I kept wanting to force the AI to do things. And I eventually learned that why am I trying to do this? It understands what I'm saying. So what I mean by that is, and I'll give you a good example, is intent-based data, right? So when you're telling it, hey, if someone wants to talk to a person, I don't need to say, when they ask this specific question, transfer to my phone. Instead, I just say if they ask to talk or speak to someone, transfer them. And it uses all my information in the AI for my phone number and all that stuff to do it. And also intent-based beta might be, hey, do you want an SMS? Now, if you're thinking very much like a programmer or a scripter, you might say, okay, I'm going to program this to say the following 10 words that you might do, right? But you really don't need to do that. You can just say, if they want an SMS, send it to them. And it measures the intent, right? So by that, I mean, it knows if you say, yep, sure thing, sounds good, okay, yes, I would love that. That's all positive intent that it measures and understands, and it would send you the text message. If you went, no way, I don't need that, stop bothering me, whatever you're going to say to it, right? It knows that's negative intent, and it won't send it to you. I think it actually even apologizes, which is kind of funny. But you can program it to do or not do some of that behavior. But anyway, so getting a little off topic here, but let's move on to our next area, which is really all the enhanced communications tools that are now integrated with AI, right? So one of my favorite features, right, speaking of which, is the integration of AI into the communications channels itself. And so there's three specific things we're looking at. Natural language processing, which I just spoke about, partly dealing with intent. Predictive text and suggestions, and multi-channel consistency. So rolling back to the first, let's dive in. So natural language processing. So what does that mean? How's that work? So basically, AI analyzes customer inquiries across email, SMS, and live chat, also voice AI, providing intelligent suggestions or even crafting full responses. This not only speeds up response times, but also ensures that your messaging is consistent and professional. And, I know I've read about this several times, but when you actually see it in practice and you're using it for your own business, it just blew me away. I thought it was unbelievable. Now, the second piece there is the predictive text and suggestions. And so Cajun Pipeline offers real-time recommendations for replies, which makes, communication faster and more accurate. So, whether you're responding to a customer's questions or crafting a follow-up message, the AI itself, think of it this way, has your back, right? And lastly, the last one I mentioned is multi-channel consistency. So basically, this is customers interacting with business across multiple platforms. And how does AI figure into this? Well, AI ensures that your brand voice remains consistent regardless of the channel. And this is crucial for building trust and maintaining a strong brand identity, right? So that could be a whole segment on its own. So I won't get a whole lot into brand, but suffice to say that it does a great job at maintaining that through multi-channel, that brand through multi-channel consistency measures. Next up on the chopping block here is a little bit more about the CRM. So we're going to talk a little bit about the intelligent CRM, as it were. So CRM systems, as you know, right? We've said it a few times now, but they're only as good as the data you input. Garbage in, garbage out. One of my favorite sayings, right? So the AI in Cajun Pipeline, that is, changes that by automating data entry and offering actionable insights. So, for example, it can predict customer needs based on past interactions. So if a customer has shown interest in a particular product or service, the AI can suggest targeted offers or follow-ups. In addition, it highlights upsell and cross-sell opportunities, helping you maximize revenue for each customer. And finally, right, it provides alerts for follow-ups, ensuring no lead is neglected. And this is really particularly helpful for businesses with a large customer base where it's easy for leads to fall through the cracks. So jumping on to our next area in our second segment here, analytics and insights. So finally, we're going to talk about numbers. I know. If you're a numbers person right now, you're very excited. If you're not, please don't go away. It's not boring. I promise I'll keep it light. But basically, the AI in Cajun Pipeline doesn't just present data, it interprets it. And so what does that mean? It means that the platform generates, and I'll go through three things quickly here, and then I'll backtrack and explain in more detail. So basically, the platform generates actionable insights, predictive analytics, and visualized reports. So circling back, let's dive a little bit deeper into the first, actionable insights. So actionable insights are, in this case, recommendations for improving campaign performance. So, for example, if an email campaign isn't performing well, the AI can suggest changes to the subject line, content, or timing. Predictive analytics, moving on in more detail, that forecasts future trends based on historical data, right? That's what you normally would assess. But this is invaluable for planning your marketing strategy and staying ahead of the competition. And lastly, visualized reports. And what that means is on the platform is easy to understand graphs and dashboards to simplify decision making. Whether you're presenting to stakeholders or reviewing your own performance, these visualizations make it easier to understand complex data. Now, these features aren't, just for large companies with deep pockets. They're accessible, scalable, and designed to empower businesses of all sizes. So don't feel like this is above you can be a solopreneur and this stuff will work for you. I am, and it works for me. Well, sort of a solopreneur, not really, but, and this is just scratching the surface, to be honest with you. I mean, the potential applications of these AI features are as diverse as the businesses that use them, including mine. So now we're going to move on to our third segment, which is talking a little bit about the real world applications and benefits. So now that we've covered the features, let's explore how they translate into real world applications and tangible benefits. Now, this is where theory meets practice, and we see the true power of Cajun Pipeline's AI features. So let's start with an example. Consider or imagine, that you're running a small retail business. Your primary challenges are juggling inventory, responding to customer inquiries, managing promotions, and ensuring a steady flow of sales. Now, without automation, right, these tasks consume countless hours and leave little room for growth-oriented activities. So let's look at a few different ways that Cajun Pipeline can actually help, given this example, a small retail business, right? Let's start with personalized marketing and lead nurturing. One of the standout benefits of Cajun Pipeline's AI is its ability to personalize marketing at scale. So here's how that works a little bit, right? So you have hyper-personalized campaigns. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the AI analyzes customer data to create tailored marketing messages. So, for instance, if a customer frequently purchases fitness-related products, the system might suggest promotions for workout equipment or apparel, right? Another element here is behavioral triggers, right? So say a lead visits your website multiple times but hasn't made a purchase. The AI can automatically trigger a follow-up email with a discount or a recommendation tailored to their browsing behavior. So another element would be engagement timing. And as we all know, I hate to use an overused phrase, but timing's everything, right? And the AI determines the optimal time to send emails or SMS messages based on, customer engagement patterns, increasing the likelihood of conversion. And moving on to an additional element, right, that's important for a small retail business would be improved customer support. So customer support in of itself, and we all know this, right, it can make or break your reputation. And there are some infamous examples of that. I can't mention names. I don't think I'm big enough for someone to sue me, but you never know. But we all know, right? I've had some horrific, stories about trying to cancel certain things and not being able to. So there's all sorts of things like that. We all have those stories, right? But with Cajun Pipeline's AI, you can offer consistent, high-quality service without increasing your team size, right? So improving customer support can be done by working smarter, not necessarily harder, or throwing more resources at it, right? In addition, you can have chatbots powered by NLP, which we mentioned earlier, right? These bots handle common inquiries, such as store hours or return policies, freeing up human agents to focus on complex issues. And that's really another little piece, right? Just to dive in here on a side track for a moment here. I've gone in and personally played around with all these features, right? But the chatbot I thought was really cool because you can train the chatbot and you can, take the 10 most common questions your business is asked and train the chatbot to answer them. And then anything it encounters it doesn't know what to do with, it'll say something like, oh, well, we'll have someone reach out to you, right? Now, the idea, of course, is to not have someone reach out. So if you train it to learn 50 things and someone comes up with a 51st question you didn't think of, that's fine. You answer it, then you go back and retrain your chatbot to answer that 51st one so that next time it knows how to answer it. So it can be an iterative process, right? You do your best to cover all your bases in the beginning, and as you learn about unusual or unlikely questions or just questions you didn't consider, you can train the chatbot to do that. Just like you can train your voice AI to answer and do things when people call your business, which I think is also phenomenal. Phenomenal. So, another element that might help a small retail business would be proactive notifications, for instance. So the system identifies potential problems like delayed shipments and notifies customers before they reach out. And one of my favorites, right? One of my favorite elements is efficient task automation. So a small retail business, right, could spend a significant amount of time on administrative tasks. But Cajun Pipeline's AI automates these processes, allowing teams to focus on strategic initiatives. And so some examples of that might be automated follow-ups, invoice management, lead scoring. So, circling back, if you're talking about automated follow-ups, basically the platform sends reminders for appointments or follow-ups with leads, ensuring no opportunity slips through the cracks. Now, some of that might be automation, not necessarily AI, but AI is integrated with the platform, and so any type of marketing automation you set up is also integrated with AI and can be integrated with AI. So there's lots of possibilities that can be done through automations, right, with AI. The other thing is invoice management. Payments are tracked automatically with the platform, and reminders for overdue invoices are sent without manual input. And of course, I mentioned also lead scoring. AI evaluates leads, based on various criteria. So helping sales teams focus their efforts where it matters most. Okay, and what does that all translate to for a small business is increased ROI for campaigns. So using AI-driven insights, businesses can optimize marketing campaigns overall and achieve better ROI. Right, and we just talked about that, and there are a bunch more in here, and I that we could discuss that the platform does, and I won't go into details on all of them, but things like predictive campaign adjustments, cost-effective retargeting, a lot of stuff like that, right? And so that's one of the things that makes Cajun Pipeline, so popular and so easy to use and so powerful with this new AI capability. Okay, so let's move on to our last segment, the future of AI and business automation. So let's shift our focus to the future. The question on everyone's mind is, where is AI heading and how will it continue to transform business operations? Are we talking, fully automated business operations, or are we talking Skynet? Sorry, you can't talk about AI without talking about Skynet, right? But I don't think we're anywhere near that right now. But let's talk about some actual emerging trends in AI. Okay, so looking ahead, here's a few examples, right? Hyper personalization. AI will become even better at understanding individual customer preferences, enabling ultra targeted marketing campaigns. And the better your targeting is and your segmentation is for your marketing campaigns, the more effective you're going to be, and the more conversions you're going to get. And it's healthier for your lists, right? You're not blasting out a message to a bunch of people that they don't care about and they just unsubscribe. So another trend would be conversational AI. So virtual assistants and chatbots, and we just talked about this earlier, are basically going to evolve to handle more complex interactions, making them indistinguishable from human agents. When you're in a chat, I actually believe that, because even the way it is today, I wouldn't know if it weren't labeled as AI. I wouldn't realize that I wasn't talking to an AI. And by the way, some people will implement things purposely to look like artificial intelligence. Like, they don't want people thinking it's a human. So they'll say, "Hey, welcome to your AI chatbot, Chad," Chad or Biff, right? So and other people don't. That's just the decision they make. There's no moral issue with either, right? You're not trying to fool anyone by pretending something. You're just using something that's more streamlined and friendlier. And plus, I think some people may think in the back of their minds, oh, people are going to react negatively to an AI, a voice chat or an AI chatbot, right? I don't know. I think time will tell. I think there's always some people that may not like it, but look at it this way. I can remember being a kid and my parents making phone calls, and when those first started out and companies would start to automate some of those things, they were pretty crude, but they would ask questions and do stuff. And I remember they were annoyed, but they didn't hang up and they didn't say it was the end of the world. So I would say we shouldn't be too worried about it. Okay. So the other trend, I think, is AI-driven creative tools. And we've seen this a lot, right? So I've seen it in Canva. I've seen it in Cajun Pipeline, of course, my product. I've seen it in a bunch of other things. And that's from content generation to video editing. As well, by the way, I've seen video creation and image creation. But basically, the AI tools will empower all our businesses to create higher quality marketing assets faster than ever before. And I don't know about you, but even with Canva, which is really easy to use, I could do something much faster in AI. Now, the big weakness with AI overall, because I've seen it with ChatGPT, and not to single them out, I've seen it in a bunch of AI platforms. I just happen to be a paid member of theirs. When you're generating images, you have to be careful what you generate. Like, if you're trying to generate something that has words in it, it's just not there yet. The words don't always come out well on the images. And a lot of times you can generate beautiful images quickly and then just use Canva or something just to add whatever callouts you want later. It still saves you a ton of time. So it's still well worth it, And so our last emerging trend that we're going to discuss today, and this is an important one, and we do hear a lot about it, especially in you hear the most about it from the people and the organizations and the media assets that are the least informed about AI. That's just my opinion, quote unquote, but ethical AI practices. So I do think they're important. Don't take my prior statement as being a dig on it. I do think it's important. I just think that the way it's discussed in the media is comical sometimes. But for our discussion, as AI adoption grows, businesses are going to need to prioritize ethical considerations. And the most important are what? Data privacy and transparency, right? So that I agree very much with. And I think they're starting to move in that direction. Definitely, I've seen that trending big time. So what's Cajun Pipeline's vision? Our vision is at the forefront of all these advancements we discussed. And here's what the platform has in store. So we're going to have an expanded AI toolkit, and we talked about some of the new features that we had, and I'll go through that in a second. And so you can basically expect even more sophisticated tools for analytics, customer engagement, and automation. In addition, another part of the vision is seamless integrations. So, what does that mean? That means for future updates, we'll, basically enhance compatibility with third-party apps, ensuring a cohesive workflow. And then scalable solutions, and that's a biggie, right? So whether you're a solopreneur or a large enterprise, Cajun Pipeline's AI features will scale to meet your needs. And what is the role overall, though, of business in all this? And I think as AI becomes more accessible, businesses really, they have to embrace it to remain competitive. And we've seen them all doing it. I've seen Canva, HubSpot, Adobe. A lot of big players are adding AI capabilities to their toolkit, right? And this involves not just, again, adopting the technology, which is what I just mentioned those guys are doing, but also educating teams to leverage its full potential. And the key is to view AI not as a replacement for human effort, but as a tool that enhances it. And you know what? I couldn't agree with that more, because I feel like people are reluctant to use AI. They're reluctant and fearful, I think, of its implementation. So what does that mean? Oh, I'm a copywriter. People won't need me anymore. Well, no. I'm a copywriter, right? If you're a professional writer, you're always going to be needed. AI can do a lot of things, okay? But it can't change on the fly the direction of what you're doing, or make a educated change to something that it obviously comes from a hallway conversation on your way to get coffee that changes your mind about something or anything. There's all sorts of things that you'd have to go back and change it, right? I'm not saying that AI doesn't write very well, but there are certain weaknesses to the content generation, and it requires a human being to go through and edit, streamline, change that. And also, by the way, if you're a copywriter or a technical writer, I'll just say professional writer, right? Like me, I'm both. But if you're a professional writer, then what do you do more than anything else? Well, you write something and then you rewrite it, right? Because you're streamlining, changing, organizing, updating, all those things that in some cases, right, you may have initial drafts of certain things done through AI, but that doesn't mean that that's going to be something that you're going to be able to turn around and then integrate all that iterative work and edits in. It would just be too time consuming. It'd be easier as a human being to go in and edit the output that you've created. And in a lot of cases, to input outlines yourself on what you're looking for and doing. In other words, you're not just going to press a button and say, hey, I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee, generate all my work for me. It's not that easy. And I know there are people using it that way, but that's not really the way it works, right? It's much, much more complicated than that. So look, that's a wrap. I think I've talked way too much. I'm at almost 40 minutes right now. But, we've discussed and gone through, the fundamentals of Cajun Pipeline, explored its groundbreaking, AI features, and, examined a lot of real world applications, and even peeked into the future of AI with business automation. And it's clear that AI is not just a trend, but a transformative force reshaping the business landscape. And I almost feel like saying that sentence again. It really is transformative, right? It's in some respects earth-shattering, the things it can do. I mean, Notebook LM, you're able to create your own automated podcasts, for goodness sake. And the voices sound real. So for those of you wondering, it reminds me of that Star Trek episode where the guy couldn't tell whether he was in an imaginary holodeck or in the real world. I am not an AI, I'm a person. My name's Paul Brady. And look, if today's discussion resonated at all with you, head over to Cajun Pipeline's website and see some of the features in action. If you go to cajunpipeline.bradyconsult.com/demo, you can look at a demo of a high-level demo of Cajun Pipeline. And if you want more detail than that, then go to cajunpipeline.bradyconsult.com/schedule and schedule a 30-minute meeting with me, and I'll answer any questions you have. Thank you for joining me today, and until next time, please stay curious, stay innovative, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Perfect, especially when considering our discussion on AI. Thanks, everyone. This has been Express Leads, hosted by Paul Brady of Brady Consulting and Inbound Marketing. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to leave us a voice message by visiting anchor.fm/expressleads. Thank you.